To the Six Figure Amazon Store podcast. I'm Becky, and today we're diving into one of the most powerful yet underutilized tools for scaling your brand on Amazon, and that is video ads. If you are a CMO or a CEO and your brand is already hitting multiple six figures on Amazon and you're looking to break into seven figures and beyond, this episode is for you. Welcome to the Six Figure Amazon Store podcast, where we help you boost order value, keep customers coming back, and turn more clicks into sales to scale your brand on Amazon. Let's dive in. Now, the reality is that Amazon video ads, they aren't just an option really anymore. I would say that they're a necessity. And this is really, if you want to do things like increase your conversions and engagement, if you really want to be a dominator of your category and you want to stand out because the market has become really crowded. So today I'm going to break down exactly what makes Amazon video ads work, and I'll share some examples of high converting video strategies and show you how to leverage video to scale your brand on Amazon. So let's just be honest, Amazon has changed, especially with ads. There's more competition than ever in 2025. There's higher ad costs. It's really also now more of a pay to play landscape where the best brands are going to win, the ones with the deepest pockets. And for brands that are at high six figures, they're trying to push past that 1 million mark and beyond. Traditional ad strategies alone aren't enough anymore. Those are really great. They're very foundational, but I've got some good news. Amazon video ads, they have really huge engagement and conversion rates across all different ad types on the platform. In fact, Amazon says that video ads can drive up to a 20 to 30% higher click-through rate than static sponsored brand ads. And in many cases, it could be even higher. So the brands that are leaning into video ads right now are really the ones that are seeing exponential growth. But here's the catch. Not all video ads work. So if you have done and tried video ads in the past and they haven't worked very well for you, or they're not working as well as you thought they should, this episode is obviously going to be for you, and I'll share some tips later. But some video ads are just going to fall flat, meaning you're not really going to see a huge impact. Some are also going to blend into the noise, and I'll share a little bit more about why that is. Some are just going to burn through your ad spend and you're not going to see results. Results meaning sales, means new to brand customers. Those are the metrics that you want to see happening with your ads. And perhaps impressions if you're looking at brand awareness, but you really are wanting most likely to hit those sales, and especially it's great to see new to brand customers coming through from those ads. Now, what separates a high converting Amazon video ad from one that's just kind of forgettable? That's what I'm going to cover today. So high performing video ads, they're going to really have three core elements to it. The first one, and no surprise, is going to be there has to be a hook in those first 2 to 3 seconds. Amazon's video ads, they're going to autoplay without sound in search feed. So you've seen this on your phone, you've seen this on desktop, right? Now, if the video doesn't grab attention visually, which is very different than another, type of ad, immediately the shoppers are just going to keep scrolling past it. So it needs to be eye-catching. And later, I'm going to share a pro tip on a specific video that worked very well for a client of ours with leading to a lot of sales from their video ad. Now, also you want clear product benefits and you want to be snappy and fast about it. So you don't have a ton of time to really even explain the product. A lot of it does have to be visually shown. And the best video ads that we've seen are immediately showing the product in action and is really helping the customer to see what value they're getting within those first 5 to 7 seconds of the video. And lastly is relatable. You want your ideal customer to see themselves when they see your video. This is what we have found to crush it for one of our clients, and the video itself wasn't even highly polished. In this particular example that I'm thinking of, the video was actually testimonial. So remember, in this time of AI that is everywhere, to humanize your video content for your ads. Now, here's a quick thing of what not to do. Amazon won't approve videos that are pressuring what they would say pressuring customers into taking action. So you'll have to avoid language that does things like asking them questions or speaking directly to the customer. This is a little bit of a quirk and a challenge because many videos that are, highly created and polished and professional are all they're set up to be created like that, but most likely it won't get approved by Amazon, so it will just kind of get just not approved, and then you can't even run the video ad. Now, things like the call to actions that you would think would work really well, buy it now, act fast, that's kind of the language Amazon actually does not want to hear. So just keep that in mind when you're thinking about video ads for Amazon and how they do have to be a little bit different than you might be doing for your other platforms. Next, I want to share with you some Amazon video ad examples that actually work. So the first example I want to share with you is the product and use showcase. So this is really for products that are solving a pain point and have a very strong factor of being able to demonstrate that pain point and what they're solving. So this would work for a lot of products that are in the kitchen category, beauty, tools, even fitness equipment, things like that. So why it works, it's visually going to prove why your product is superior without having to rely on text-heavy descriptions. Remember, the videos are muted, so you want to be showing the benefits of the product. So how you would structure this type of video would be open with real life, like a real life problem. If someone, for instance, if you're in the kitchen category and it's, you have these amazing knives, they're very unique. You want to make sure you're showing, for instance, that if someone's struggling with dull knives, because that's a huge pain point that you know for your customers, you want to be showing that problem occurring. The next part of the video, you want to showcase how the problem is being solved by using your product. So that's kind of just the gist of what your structure for the video should be, and then the first example. Another example would be before and after transformations. We've found these videos work really well for beauty, skincare, where we help a lot of brands that are in those categories. Also, even things just like lifestyle products. And the reason that it works, it's really you're creating an emotional connection that's going to go beyond just logic necessarily. I mean, obviously, there is logic to what your product does, but they're kind of really connecting with your product and what it does emotionally, and you're also building credibility quickly with people. So the structure of this video type could be you start off with the before. So basically, what does maybe their skin or hair look like before using your product? Then you want to introduce the product, or obviously your product, as what it is going to do to change that, before image. And then the after is going to be what result it gives. So this is why I really think that the beauty and skincare products work great for this type of video, because you can visually show things that maybe you can't even say in the listings, but you can show people what they can expect, because maybe they have crazy frizzy hair and at the end their hair is smooth. So for people like me who do get frizzy hair when it gets kind of rainy outside, then to be able to see the end result of, oh wow, this would help tame my hair and not have it go crazy, that would be very attractive to those buyers. The next example is really just kind of more of a quick fire kind of features and benefits. So this really is a little bit more of you have a lot of features that you want to cover in these videos, and you want to show what sets your product apart. So this kind of really works differently because it rapidly kind of educates shoppers without feeling like they're overwhelmed. So the structure for this video type would be you're kind of starting with a dynamic product shot, a lot of different angles. You're really actually going to use very short text overlays with maybe only 3 to 4 key features. You don't want to overwhelm people on the text. Remember, they're scrolling through. You want them to be able to read it enough so it catches their eye with something that they would find, okay, this is something that I'm really intrigued about. Now I want to click into this listing. Now here's a bonus example of a video, and this kind of goes back to something that I was saying earlier, but videos that are showing real people that are using your product. And we've just seen this really work very well because it leads to many times high conversions of ad clicks to sales. And then it's really then you're getting closer to having the video remind that ideal customer of them. They're seeing themselves in your video, and or even what they want to be in your video, right? That's usually what you're trying to target. And that's going to be more likely that they will then click and then purchase from that video ad. Okay, so how to set up video ads on Amazon that will scale. First, obviously, you're creating your video. I've shared some examples and structures. So if you don't have anything starting off with, it is worth investing in videos. And then you want to make sure for Amazon to keep it at 30 seconds max. Usually 15 to 30 seconds is the sweet spot. You can technically go longer. I just don't recommend keeping the video super long. You want to really prioritize visuals over necessarily voiceovers, because I know obviously you can do voiceovers, you can pay voiceover actors and actresses, but your video is first going to be seen and it's not going to be heard because it has to be unmuted before they even listen to it. So your visuals are actually going to be hold a little bit more weight than the actual things like voiceovers. Now, for captions, you're going to want to make sure that you're using key messaging. But when I say that, you also want to make sure it's within the guidelines, because you can't, in any way break what Amazon's guidelines are, because essentially they just won't approve your video and you'll have to edit it and revise it. Also, the next thing you want to do is test variations to see what performs best. And this is something that we're always doing for our clients. We're testing to see what new videos that they have, see what works best, what doesn't. Also, we want people to not get too used to the video ad that they've seen before. So that is really important to keep refreshing. I mentioned that in a previous episode when I was talking about, even images and things like that. You just want to keep it fresh with your video ads. The next step is obviously you need to then launch your Amazon video ad campaign. So when you're inside Amazon Ad Console, this is where you're going to go to sponsored brands, and then video ads are created within a sponsored brand ad campaign. So you obviously then need to select the ASIN or the product that you want to promote, and then you can upload your video. It does have to get approved, as I mentioned before, but then once it does get approved, make sure to just target those really high intent keywords that your competitors are running more of the static ads, which would mean like non-video type of ads, because that would be, you're going to have the greatest opportunity for success if the competitors are not bidding on those keywords with video ads. And then you're going to obviously then set up additional video campaigns so that you can keep testing and compare performances. You want to see which ones are getting the click-through rate is going to be huge for video ads. And also you're looking at how many sales. We also like looking at how many new to brand customers percentage-wise are coming in from video ads, because if your product is a consumable, which a lot of our clients have that element and yours might as well, you want to draw them in so that you can then have them buy more of your products or buy it again, right? So the next step is really that last step, step 3, optimize and scale, because you want to maximize your return on investment at this point. So this is where you're really going to dig more into tracking your click-through rate and looking at your conversion rate as well, and testing different video styles. So you've already done it a little bit, but this is really where you're doing it a lot more. You're looking at those more polished videos. You're kind of comparing them to the less polished videos. You could be looking at videos that do have people in it versus no people. You could be looking at ones there, it's very product focused video, and maybe those with text, and then also testing those without text to see what performs better for your niche, for your category, for your brand, right? And then you also want to make sure you're retargeting past people that have either bought from you and you want them to buy another product, like a new product, or they didn't buy the first time and you want them, that they've been on the listing, so you want to retarget them as well. You just really want to think about ways to increase the lifetime value of your customer on Amazon, because a lot of brands complain, or the struggle that a lot of them have is, and this is a legitimate complaint, is that their profits are so low and that the costs are so high for running ads. And this is where we have layered in the strategy of, you need to be building up your lifetime value of the customer on Amazon, knowing that yes, they may eventually go to your website, but many times they just won't. So you want to build in a higher lifetime value, and you want to start looking at that as a metric as well, because if you're only looking at the initial purchase, you're not getting the bigger picture. Amazon and brand analytics gives you a lot more data than you used to have, and you should be using that to really analyze what can you be spending on ads to draw in new customers, and how much is that new customer on Amazon worth. So make sure to look at brand analytics if you haven't already. And like I was saying before, video ads really I would say it's not really optional. They're just a critical piece to really scale your brand past from high six figures to seven figures to eight figures and beyond. So if you're a CMO or a brand leader, you're looking for that next growth lever for your Amazon strategy, this is it. You want to invest in video, you want to test different styles, and then you want to scale what does work. So thank you for tuning in to the Six Figure Amazon Store podcast. And if you're serious about scaling your brand on Amazon and want a strategic roadmap to seven figures, let's make it happen. This will help you get there. There's going to be links in the show notes if you want to contact us, if you kind of want to discuss a brand strategy and a plan that would work for your brand that is customized to you and your brand and your category. You can reach out in the show notes below. Until next time, keep optimizing those listings and those videos, and happy selling. Bye. Thanks for listening to today's episode. I hope it brought you value you can use to grow your Amazon sales channel for your brand. What would really help me a ton, how important product reviews are on Amazon, would you take a quick minute and leave me a review on Apple Podcasts? Just scroll down until you see the write a review in purple, and then you can click the leave the rating and review there. That'll help me to know you're getting value from this and what future content you want to hear more of that would serve you best. Thank you so much.